Hey yo, I'm Sid Fly, and you're now watching Alt Fly. Today's show is all about choices.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all?
A white man once said, "Give me liberty, or give me death." But I doubt his white ass was on the front lines next to Crispus Attucks. I was right there with a lot of y'all, man. I was putting the memes up, making fun of Kanye. I was on the Twitter feed with Complex and Chris Brown, going back and forth, getting likes and retweets and all of this. Till my man Damo let me realize being a slave or death is a terrible choice to ever have to make. However, it is still a choice. So come follow me while I explain why slavery was a choice, even if it was just a terrible choice. One of my favorite parts, and most people's favorite parts of Black Panther is when Killmonger and Black Panther is sharing this beautiful moment, looking at the sunset in Wakanda. You remember Black Panther, right? And Black Panther says, "I can heal you, you don't have to die." And Killmonger says, "Let me die like my ancestors. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in chains, in slavery." That's a powerful statement that he made. He didn't want to be a slave. When it came to slavery, maybe not the whole time, but at some point it became a choice. You can get with this or you can get with that. I think you get with this because this is where it's at. I'll give you a great example. Every American can agree with this, except for y'all deadbeat parents. And I say deadbeat dad, I said deadbeat parents, because there's deadbeat mamas out there too. If it came down to a life or death situation, you versus your kids, you make that decision in a minute. Take me. That was a choice that slaves had to make at some point. And most of them didn't. Some did, most didn't. And think about this. If Harriet Tubman wouldn't have made that hard choice, I'ma die for this, to get my people free, to make sure my next generation won't be in chains, we wouldn't have the Underground Railroad. It'd have been so many more slaves that would have never got their freedom. And because she made that hard choice, they're gonna put her picture on a $20 bill. But the thing is, it's a choice to make. It's a terrible choice that was hard to make, but you gotta make that. And then a lot of people out here that's putting up these memes and making fun of Kanye for saying it's a choice, these are the same people who today be out in the street dying over their tennis shoes and their gold chains. I wish they would rob me over these Jordans I just bought with 6 motherfucking Harriet Tubmans in this bitch. So, even though it was a very terrible choice to have to make, the hardest choice maybe a person had to ever make in their lives, it was still a choice. Let me tell you why that choice was super hard to make. It's because slave owners used re-education and brainwash to instill fear in the mind of slaves, because they knew that we gotta break them mentally else they will choose to die. They would take the biggest slave around. But you got the big slave, the dude that everybody would rally behind, like, if he gonna die, I'm gonna die. 'Cause I know he gonna take the people with him. First thing they did was they take that dude and kill him in the most horrific way possible to just break the will of the rest of these slaves. Now you gotta remember, you still have Middle Passage, and these slaves watched so many people die before they even got to America. And by the time they got here, they were already mentally broken. Now you got all these people speaking all these different languages, and systematically what you do is go, we can't have more than 2 people who speak the same language in the same area, you know, the whole Tower of Babel concept, because then they can talk to each other, and they can plot, and they can scheme, and try to revolt. When you got there and you was on a plantation with all these other slaves, none of you guys spoke the same language. Unlike the Holocaust that was like, 7 to 10 years, or any of these other traumatic things that went on besides what happened to the Indians, slavery went on for almost 400 years. After generations, they started to learn to speak the same language. They started to know how to communicate. And here's where I see the choice should have became easier. Now what makes it easier for you guys to come together and go, look, I don't want my kids to grow up how I grew up. We all go revolt. We talking about Kanye, so we're gonna watch the throne for a little bit. and use a line from Jay-Z. Lock my body, can't trap my mind.
It's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison is something that unites us as one race.
There's a lot of people out there in jail right now that gets caught up mentally in prison. There's a lot of people that go to prison and they never let their mind get locked up and they come out a free man and can do what they need to do. All right, now this is the conclusion. You know, it's a segment of racist motherfuckers out there that always, when you say something about choice and all this shit, be like, well, you can go back to Africa. You know what? All y'all racist motherfuckers can suck my dick, nigga. We built this motherfucking country just like every other immigrant. Difference is, my people didn't have a choice, but we here. That's what makes America so great, is the Native Americans and all these immigrants all got together in this great big old mixing pot and whipped it in the kitchen. Whipped it in the kitchen, whip it in the kitchen, whipped it in the kitchen. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna bring some other shit up too. Cause there's a lot of people that ask for equality. You can't have equality. You can't have equality. And there might be some black people mad at me for saying that. Certain people contribute to society on a higher level than other people in the ways of, say, an Einstein, or a Tesla, or a George Washington Carver, or even say a Bob Marley, compared to a dude who eats his boogers or just lives in his parents' basement.
The fuck?
Now that doesn't mean that you shouldn't love those people as equal as much as you love these other people. However, just human nature to go, hey, they're contributing more, so they're more valuable to society. But here's one thing I will say. You should treat everyone the way that you want to be treated. And if you can't do that, get out of my America. If you're a racist, genderist, classist, you can get out. Let's make America great for the first time. And don't forget to share, like, and comment. I'm Sid Fly. You're watching Off Fly. Hope you enjoyed your flight with no first class or coach. Everybody gets the same treatment.